There we go. We are live again for another Saturday morning. As people drop in, say hello. Where today we've got Luke here with us on the Discord. He's just turned his microphone off because he wants to listen to it live. Listen to it on the YouTube. Mr. Mitch, good morning. How are you? Dowlo, he's there as well. G'day, the usual crowd, as we like to say. I'm waiting for Steve. Oh, there's Stephen. Let me just drag Stephen into the chat channel. He's in the other one. There you go, Stephen. We brought you into the channel there. Say hello, Stephen.
Hello.
Hello. Let me just give you a little bit more volume on you there. Let's just turn
I thought I was on and I couldn't hear my sound, so you cut me off again, you bastard.
I did.
Good morning, everyone.
No, you just jumped into the chat lobby, which is where we normally hang out. I thought we'll do it properly today. We'll actually we'll go to the live streaming channel so that people knew if anybody dropped in and wanted to come and have a chat. Boss Nova, how you doing? Finally get to watch your stream live. Yeah. I still love. I love that name, Dildo Baggins 69. I love that name. Dildo Baggins really needs to have his own YouTube channel with a name like that.
He doesn't have to do anything. Just put the name up.
That's it. Just sit there and just make fun of everything.
Probably a big picture of a dildo.
Well, maybe not. YouTube are a little bit funny with that sort of shit.
Yeah, but they won't be able to hear it at least. They'll have to go through it.
You get a vibrating one. Currently listening in,
Trust you to upgrade the dildo.
I'm programming a garage door opener. I need a 15-year-old now. I know how that goes. People, all these old people with computer problems. I said, just grab the nearest 15-year-old on the street. They'll fix it for you.
Andy Stubbs, hello mate.
Andy Stubbs,
hello.
There's another new name, Patrick Baruli. Patrick Baruli.
Why hasn't Mr. Mitch got a spanner? He should have a spanner. I don't think he wanted one, did he?
Yes, that's right. Maybe I'll go and sort that out later. But yeah. Nobody wants to impersonate Mr. Mitch. And again, we've really sort of, now that I say the impersonators, of course, we'll have the impersonator person come on and start impersonating people again. So maybe make a rod for my own back. But yes, that's the reason why we have spanners, so we know the regulars, if they do get impersonated, they don't have spanners, and we can quickly get rid of them. Yes, Yep's right on for the first try. Well, it's good to have you along. California, how's life over there?
Hello, Patrick.
How's life?
Mr. Mitch, go ahead, do a spanner. I will give you a code word. There you go. He wants you to do a spanner.
That's right. I'll do it. I don't do it when I'm here. I don't think I can do it. Can I do it live here?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you do it live. It's a 5-minute event.
I'll do it. I don't do it when I'm here. Turn the volume on. Yes. Okay. So Mr. Mitch, there it is.
It's a 5-minute event, and then he gets a blue spanner, and all
the viewers go, wow,
look at that.
There we go. I'm pretty sure we got the right one. I stopped doing that simply because of the fact that so many people jumped on, and they didn't have spanners, and we're putting spanners on the wrong person. You know how it goes.
Right. I think we talked about Mr. Mitch being a spanner.
Bossing over. Are the spanners Sid Chrome? Maybe not. I wouldn't want to try and do a bolt up with them anyway. Voc free Andy. Yeah, okay. Anyway, like today's topic,
Look at that. He's a spanner.
He's got a spanner. Look, it works. There you go. Just don't go banning me, okay?
That's the first thing I tried to do.
Yeah.
so I could get a word in.
So you get a word in. We had a short program today. I've got to go off to the hospital today to do a checkup from 6 months ago when I had the kidney stones. I did schedule a checkup 6 months later to go and make sure everything was all hunky-dory. They're going to give me an ultrasound and make sure everything's sort of, still sweet on the inside. So,
Hello, Bill.
So I
You've
want
been
to.
having some problems, have you? Some
No, no,
symptoms, or
no. Got no
sort
symptoms
of?
whatsoever. I just basically want to. I said that there's still three small stones when we had the ultrasound when we finalised in the February checkup. And I just said, well, what should I do? I said, should I, They said, come back in 12 months. I said, well, when you said that 12 months ago when I had the first stone, you said come back in 12 months. And it hit at 9 months. So, like one thing led to another. I said, how about we schedule a checkup 6 months from now, and then we'll do the ultrasound just to make
How do
sure
they
everything's
check
okay.
what's the checkup? What do they do?
They just do ultrasound.
Ultrasound, that's all.
That's all. They know where to look. So they've got
Not do a colonoscopy. You don't need to a camera up the arse or anything, do you?
Thankfully, no. It's a nice and non-invasive ultrasound. They know where to look now as well because they've got all the X-rays from January, so they know how to position and everything else, and just check to make sure everything's looking sweet down there. To see
hopefully you get a couple of pretties, a couple of hottie nudes.
Oh, they're all pretties. Oh, they see God, it's got no. I know when you went and had your colonoscopy, you said one of the girls there she was a bit of a hottie, mate. All the girls.
She was. It's like straight out of a Benny Hill movie.
All the girls at this hospital, mate, they are just absolutely sweet cakes. They really are.
The doctor who did my colonoscopy couldn't stop going on about my ass. He said it was the best prepared ass he's ever seen. I thought, fucking hell. And the nurse told me, no, seriously, the nurse wrote it down on the card. Oh, the doctor wants to pass it on to you that, yours is the cleanest, best prepared ass that he's ever seen.
Well, don't forget,
said,
the title for this video here is Perspective. Let's have some perspective on that.
I asked for a certificate, but you wouldn't give me one.
On the names, okay. Yes.
Well, I must admit.
Traxia, how you doing? Yeah, tough for you in Melbourne now. Yeah, Melbourne's just lost the plot, which is part of the reason why I've called this particular subject matter to things. So I was going to start out with a little piece. Oh, actually, I'm going to start out with something else. So let me just go to the small screen. Yeah, I didn't change to a backdrop. I left all my normal screensavers on today. Okay, some perspective. Not to alarm anybody, but Mad Max took place in 2021. Just a little bit of perspective here, Just wait for everybody to catch up because they're about 10 seconds behind. Oh look, I'll share.
Everybody's looking at that. Can't recognise Mel Gibson anymore.
They can't recognise Mel Gibson. I'll make sure I share my screen into the Discord as well. So there you go. So you can look at it live.
Just a bit of perspective. Mel Gibson looks like me. Okay.
Is that right? Yeah, but he's got dark hair.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looks like pretty much all of us.
What was the next one I've got here?
In fact, even his old version is better than me.
What was the next one? Yeah, so again, perspective. This is something we were talking about, ranting about last night. There's actually a video I watched about the Beirut explosion on Monday, and somebody's already taken that footage and edited it. Now, this is just a picture, just to give you an example. Is that too soon? But somebody's actually taken the live footage off somebody's phone, and they've actually sort of superimposed a missile strike coming in on that video, and that's now going viral, changing the whole paradigm of typically an accident and try to make something out of it. It's absolutely crazy. When will people wake up to to reality sometimes? And of course, people are just going to watch that video and think, yeah, I saw the missile strike. Just like people sort of edited the original footage from the 9/11 towers. They actually sat down frame by frame, edited out the planes flying into the tower. It's not so much Photoshop because it's actually a video, so they actually have to do a video editing suite to actually sort of take out and superimpose, and it's quite a complicated procedure.
Looks like that explosion's laughing at you, doesn't it? Looks like a big
well, this one here, obviously, this one's the Death Star. Come on, the Death Star doesn't really exist. Come on, Charles Cox, how you doing?
The video's been demonetised already, so go ahead and have a rant.
That's it. Charles Cox, good luck. I have a fever and a cough. I hope you're all okay there, Charles. Damn, the wife hid the thermometer. It was on the counter for 5 months when I when I needed it. Yeah, okay. What was the next one I got? The truth bomb. There we go. Just getting a bit of perspective here. Healthy grocery shopping, $100, too expensive. Dinner plate, $100, reasonable. Monthly supplements, $100, can't afford that. Night out drinking, oh, that's a weekly occurrence. Personal growth seminar, $250. Crazy talk. A Gucci belt, $250.
Yeah, I mean, people used to go to Tops, and they go like say, "Oh man, I'm not going to buy an apple or any Western food because it's too expensive." But then they go out and spend $100 on the piss and think nothing of it. Yeah. At least $100. Start
a business, $1,000. I can't justify that. iPhone XR, $1,000. Newest model is a necessity. Perspective, guys, perspective. Where is the world's perspective these days? 60 minutes at the gym. I wish I had the time. 60 minutes watching 60 minutes watching Netflix. Time flies. Let's watch another. Everything in life is
the gym one's correct. The gym one's perspective.
That's right. Everything
normally it's worse though. You join the gym and you pay $1,000 a year and you never go.
That's right. Everything in life is about priorities and perspective, and what you prioritise will dictate what your life looks like. Where will you be in 5 years? These are the big questions in life. Has anybody ever done what they call a life goal? Or, what would I like in the next 10 years? Anyway, I'm going to actually, now that we've got 28 people here, let's actually do the article, the read first. Now, look, I'll read this.
Survey first. So let's do a survey first.
A survey?
Who would spend $100 on piss, or who would rather spend $100 on joining the gym?
Okay, let them.
So if you like the gym, put gym. If you like on the piss, put on the piss. Which one would you choose? $100, guys. Go on the piss or join a gym.
Yeah. Don't forget the super chat down there. Don't forget, I love you guys doing the super chat when you do. It's all good. Don't forget, in the description box down below, there is. There is there is a link down below. Shut up. There is a link down below to my PayPal, right? Now, just remember, when you do super chat, YouTube take 30%, right? Which is okay. They do all the stuff and make YouTube work, but they take 30% of any super chat. Whereas if you actually do a thing through the PayPal, you won't get the little flashy sign up there on the screen that's to say that you super chatted, because I can't link PayPal. But at least PayPal only take 1.5% of any pledge or donations you make. Just a little bit of a just telling you.
Arguments going out the window.
Little bit of perspective, Okay, anyway.
On the piss. Look at this, on the piss.
Yeah, really? That's all right.
On the beer.
Yeah, that's all right.
Piss, Patrick,
Jim?
Piss, Casanova, Jim, that's sell grog.
Okay, let me just... Okay, let's prime this thing up, because we want to get this over and done with an hour and a half. Okay, right. I come across this. It's actually written below in the description box. You can read it yourself if you don't like me reading. But I came across it a couple of last year sometime, and I saved it because I thought it really says everything about our modern times. Right. So here it is, and I'll read it out for you. For a small amount of perspective during these crazy times, imagine you were an American or an Australian in 1900. When you were 14, World War I starts and ends on your 18th birthday with 22 million people killed. Later in the year, a Spanish flu epidemic hits the planet and runs until you are 20. 50 million people die from it in those 2 years. Yes, 50 million. We're only sort of 6 months or 7 or 8 months into this pandemic, right? And it's nowhere near 50 million. It doesn't even look like it's ever going to make that. The world didn't stop for that. right? And the world stopped because, of other reasons. Anyway, when you're 29 and the Great Depression begins, unemployment hits 25%. I think right now, we've got an unemployment rate in Melbourne is like 20%. It's getting close to the Great Depression, right? Global GDP drops 27%. And that runs until you are 33. The country nearly collapses along with the world economy. When you turn 39, World War II starts. You aren't even over the hill yet. When you are 41, the United States is fully pulled into World War II. Between your 39th and 45th birthday, 75 million people perish in the war, and the Holocaust kills 6 million. At 52, the Korean War starts and 5 million people perish. At 64, the Vietnam War starts and it doesn't end for many years. 4 million people die in that conflict. Approaching your 62nd birthday, you have the Cuban Missile Crisis, a tipping point in the Cold War. Life on the planet as we know it could well have ended. Great leaders of those times prevented that from happening. When you are 75, when you turn 75, the Vietnam War finally ends. Think of everyone born on the planet in 1900. How do you survive all that? A kid in 1985 didn't think their 85-year-old grandparents understood how hard school was. Yet grandparents and now great-grandparents survived through everything listed above. Perspective is an amazing art. Let's try to keep things in perspective. Let's be smart, help each other out, and we will get through all of this. In the history of the world, there has never been a storm that lasted. This too shall pass. I just thought it was very moving when I read it. It was able to give me a bit of,
pretty accurate.
It is. It's just, people just completely lose the plot these days and what life is really all about.
Yeah, something comes along and there's always this fervour that's created in the media and people just sort of make everything into a major drama because, we also live in a more litigious society. People are more anxious these days. The old days they had the Great Depression, as you said. They had the World Wars. They had all these fucking things. And now, anything at all, we find reason to sort of panic and cry like babies.
Well, isn't really this the media that's the I suppose the devil in this sort of situation, right?
24/7.
Right.
24/7.
For the last 6 months, we've had nothing but the CV pandemic on the news front. Yet this week, this last 5 days, all I've seen, right, in my news feed, apart from the memes, right, is the bombing in Beirut. What bombing? Right? What bombing? There's been no bombing, right? They had, a bit of a bad planning. They've had sort of...
flesh wound. It was just a flesh wound.
They had ammonium nitrate sitting on a dock for sort of 8 years because of an impounded cargo, right, 8 years ago or something, right? No, basically people who probably put it there 8 years ago probably don't even work for that organisation. It's just got lost in the paperwork, right? And so the bloody fireworks factory's right next door. Come on. Who really? The world has just gone crazy. I can't believe it.
I posed the question, Warren. I said, risk getting a dose from a hottie or risk getting TV? And Bill Simpson said, the dose.
The dose, yeah.
And then Patrick said, I'd have to find something else to do. I don't drink beer and won't go to a gym because I've got bad knees. And I said, but you can still get pissed with bad knees, Pat. But then you'd be legless. And what's his name? Charles Cox said that nobody cares if he dies except his disabled partner.
I just noticed what download had. I actually put that up on my Callisti TV. Where is it? Let me quickly find it. All right, there we go. Let's just got a few more funny ones. Some perspective again.
Yeah, well, see, Andy Stubb said the CV stopped me going to South Korea, and Taiwan should be there now, and he's got a few angry emojis.
Yeah. So why do baby diapers have names like lovies, loves, and huggies and pampers, while undergarments for old people are called depends? Answer: when babies crap their pants, people are still going to love them, hug them, and pamper them. When old people crap their pants, it depends on who's in the will.
Man.
If 2020 was a swing. If you're not plugged into this page, this is all the funny shit I find.
What a shit year.
This is the funny shit that I find on.
Make a will.
If you're not plugged in, plug into this page because I'm growing this page. This is where
really won that one.
This is where I put them. This is where I pull them.
That one was made by the Trump family.
You can actually watch the. Don't forget, I'm feeding it live into the Discord, so you can look at it live. You don't have to wait for the delay.
Which way do you face?
That's a good question. Yeah, which way do you face? That's a good question.
Yeah, I'd rather face the brick wall than reality.
Okay. He looked like a winner until the crowd started chanting his name. Kim, you suck! Kim, you suck! Kim, you suck! Oh my God, I'm flying. Optimism. Optimism is the best way to see life.
What's that one? Oh my God, I'm flying. That's a good one.
There we go. That's another one for you, Stephen. Get your exercise done. If 2020 was a hula hoop. Just look at it.
Who wrote that one?
I don't know. Just things I find funny on the internet. That's all. I thought it is.
That's a good one.
It's perspective.
That's why I don't exercise. They're cutting back on bloody materials and making them out of barbed wire down the moment, so I can't do it.
Johnny's like, "G'day, Johnny. The Planet Earth mob have been pushed over the edge by the 2-metre rule."
They should give that hula hoop to fat people.
Have you seen a meme on that one there, Johnny? So if you have, link it for me so I can put it on my page. Yeah.
Oh, that's a very good one.
If you feel like your brain is inadequate, think of this guy. Just click on the live feed in the Discord there. You don't have to watch on the YouTube.
I'm just watching the video. I'll get a bit of a delay, but that's all. Oh, okay. I can go to that. Yeah.
Great guy, that one.
What are these on? What's the link?
This is my Callisti TV. This is my meme page now. Right. Rather than put it on my main page and on the other pages, I thought I'd put it all in one place and just grow a following just on the funny shit I find. You know, I said there's only funny shit I find on the internet. There you go. IKEA job interview. Please have a seat. You've got to build it first. But yes, as for the that was the one that Dowlow found. This will be the first year we're not going to Hawaii because of CV. Normally we don't go because we can't afford it. Johnny Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, great movie from the from the 70s or 80s.
They're still alive, are they? They're still alive.
I think they're both still alive. Yeah, they don't look like that anymore. I've got chills. They're multiplying. Yeah, no, you got the Rona.
It's electrifying.
Yeah, that's it. I thought this one was funny. It said the whole thing. What kind of Doritos are they selling in Japan? Just honestly,
They're sick bastards.
but just who comes up with these? What advertising agency comes up with that shit? Honestly, what is that?
To do with Doritos.
I haven't exactly. It's China. No, it's Japan. I don't know. Maybe I can decode it. Where's my?
What?
I'm just trying to work.
Effing Doritos do they have in Japan? I don't get it.
Neither do
Why
I.
would they put that? Why would they put that on there?
I'm just trying to work out what the Japanese sort of says.
In the chat, anybody? We need some perspective.
So if I go to camera, right, I don't want to change the language from Thai to Japanese. Japanese, there we go. Right, and then we go there, and then we just see if we can, and we've got to go, oh, go away. Japanese to English. Right.
Ring ring. The worst dial tone in history.
Okay, let's scan the picture because it's not working too
Oh.
well.
Change that dial tone.
Right, so what does it say there? Electric massage machine. Huh? It's Doritos, electric massage machine. It doesn't even give me the second part of what it says on there anyway. But yeah, I just thought it was, like, what sort of Doritos are they selling? And there we go. It's confirmation the virus has jumped from birds to humans, confirmed.
Yeah, I still don't see what it's got to do with Doritos. Oh, that's a good one. Virus jump from birds to humans. That's so funny. Which one's the president? Which one's the president?
I don't know. I think the one on the left, wasn't it? Probably do a better job. How not to wear a Disney sweatshirt.
Oh, no.
Oh, crazy shit.
Is their ass out of perspective, or is it really that big?
I think it's really that big. I have a joke about trickle-down economics. 99% of you won't get it.
He's probably a rich bastard laughing at the rest of us.
One thing is not going to a barbecue in Beirut. Too much of a blast. Okay, right, Johnny. Too much of a blast. Yeah. I'm sure that those memes will be out there. Forget about the Trump one. That was a bit too...
Good.
Ate some mushrooms last night and spent 2 hours talking to this guy about his shoes. I'm sorry. You have to have had a nefarious, growing up process, eating, taking lots of mushrooms.
I heard you did.
But I can totally relate to that one there.
Yeah, from what I've heard, you could. Yes.
Patrick, that pic didn't prove the crossover. They're
You'd have to be
they're both dodos.
in that photo, wouldn't you?
That's right, they're both dodos. Exactly, yeah.
Mr. Mitch, I can relate.
I did like this one. When you finally make it to the US to see hot American women, and they have their faces covered too. Do I want to look? This is just my page. This is where I put all my funny shit. You're quite welcome to.
What did Conor McGregor say about one of these guys' wives? He says, "Oh, look at that! You've married a towel." Yeah, well.
Yeah, this one here. Girls have a hard time choosing where to eat because the last time they chose, they doomed all of humanity. Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. It all makes sense now.
Yeah. See what's that around the tree? See the snake around the tree?
Yeah, that's the serpent. Yeah, that's the devil. Yeah. I did like this one. Right, how times have changed.
I like the name of the guy who posted it. Hannibal Hector Lecter.
Yeah. How times have changed. 2019, lazy bastard. 2020, responsible adult. Yeah, a little bit of perspective. Humour is a great way to relieve a lot of the bullshit that's going on now, and I think that's really just follow my page.
Taking a dump is also a good idea as well.
Yeah, just get it out of your system.
What I'd like to do is save it up and then have it one big dump. You feel a lot better.
Yeah. The day is coming when good men are going to have to do bad things.
He's a good actor, that guy.
Yep.
In,
one of my favourites. Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't do enough movies, to be honest, but he was in a few westerns, and he's a good actor.
He just had a sort of certain reality to him, that's it.
Yeah, he's in that movie with Patrick Swayze, the bar fighting one. I forget what it was called.
If you have a selfish, ignorant citizen, you're gonna get selfish, ignorant leaders. Yeah. George Carlin. I don't know whether George Carlin actually says it, just makes the meme just look more important.
Dowlow says apparently the blast in Beirut caused $1 million worth of improvements.
Yeah, totally relate to that. Totally relate to that, yes.
If you have selfish, ignorant citizens, you're going to get selfish, ignorant leaders.
Yeah, I particularly like this one. For all those fatties out there, Stephen, I'm going to get a held for laughing at this one.
They look quite slim to me.
Look at the house below. There you go. You're going to hell too. There you go.
They reckon the tyres are putting on weight. Fucking hell, what are these girls?
Well, the tyres are. That's the thing. They
are getting bigger.
Is that where they're working out?
Must be. These girls live upstairs of KFC, I think. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, me, I don't understand vegetarians at all. I don't understand vegetarians. So what do you reckon it's made from? Fishless tuna. Like, honestly. Vegetarians, it's crazy shit. It really is. What is it made of?
I'm a vegetarian who loves white meat only.
Right, but seriously, it's fishless tuna. What's it made of? Honestly. Why would you even call it tuna?
Probably, well, if it's from China, it's probably made of cardboard.
Probably, yeah.
Western food is killing the tide's weight. Yeah, it certainly is.
There we go. I never thought that my hands would consume more alcohol than my mouth.
What's that one about the world above it?
Oh, that one. The world. So it's crossed out America. Right. The world is not divided by race, colour, gender, or sexual orientation. The world is divided into wise people and fools divide themselves into race, colour, gender, or sexual orientation. It's just a little bit of a wake up call. Anti-box. It's too intellectual. That's why I skipped past it for the typical crowd.
You couldn't work out the syllogism.
Right. It's called a joke. We used to tell them before people became offended by everything. Oh God, people
Japanese tuna, Johnny Siam, contains dolphin.
That's right.
Well, the seal. John Mark said the seal's caught in the net.
It probably was, yeah. Right. It's called a joke. We used to tell them before everybody became offended at everything.
You're not allowed to tell jokes now.
That's it. It's oh my God, the world has just completely lost the plot.
What the jokers say? Why so serious?
I start to understand the Joker more now. Was it 15 years after that movie? When did that movie come out anyway? It was 2005, the Batman trilogy. It was 2000.
Yeah, that was the guy he died. That actor, what was his name?
Heath Ledger.
Keith Ledger. Yeah, but my brother knew his father and went to his engagement party. So that was pretty lucky.
Dolphin doesn't dolphin free mean the dolphin is included at no extra cost.
It's true though. People are offended by everything now.
Yeah.
Hyper offense taking.
I was watching
my neighbours have put up fences. They're sick of seeing me naked, and I think, well, what's your fucking problem?
Look, I'm going to do something I shouldn't do. Why? Right. This is something I came across yesterday. I think I was watching. Koala. If I do it in segments, I think I can get away with it. Where's my history? Let's see what I watch. Where's there's one here. Rowan Atkinson.
When it comes to the consideration of any, my starting point when it comes to the consideration of any issue relating to free speech is my passionate belief that the second most precious thing in life
Mr. Bean.
is the right to express yourself freely.
Isn't that so true? The right to express yourself freely.
Sorry, I just can't take this seriously with Mr. Bean doing it. It's like some serious guy coming out doing Mr. Bean. It just doesn't work. I mean,
Yeah.
I have to go back
The most
to the beginning.
precious thing in life,
missed it.
I think, is food in your mouth.
The most precious thing in life is food in your mouth. Yes, I would have to agree with that one.
Ask the girls on Soy 6 that.
And the third most precious is a roof over your head.
Roof over your head.
But a
yes.
fixture for me in the number 2 slot is free expression, just below the need to sustain life itself.
Yes, exactly. Just free expression. Like we are. What is the world coming to? It's just really become. I watched this thing here, and I have to agree with everything he says in the whole video. I'm just going to play bits of it.
That is because I have enjoyed free expression in this country all my professional life, and fully expect to continue to do so.
He goes.
Mr. Bean being angry. This is
This is Rowan Atkinson. I don't know what he was doing. He was doing some sort of speech.
I don't know if he's ever been angry in his life. He doesn't look like he's capable of being angry. Very timid.
The
man.
forerunner of the Defend Free Speech campaign was called Reform Section 5. This speech by Rowan Atkinson at the launch of the event in Parliament 2012 should be heard by every politician, journalist and campaigner. Right, because it's exactly.
They
It
won't
just,
listen.
nobody listens
Personally,
anymore.
I suspect highly unlikely to be arrested for whatever laws exist to contain
What did
free
he say?
expression because of the undoubtedly privileged position that is afforded to those of a high public profile.
Yeah, so again he talks about the common class and like if you have a public profile, then you get away with pretty much murder, but you can also get away with telling bullshit as well. But the average person, and he goes on to talk about the
So my
average person.
concerns are less for myself and more for those more vulnerable because of their lower profile. Like the man arrested in Oxford for calling a police horse gay.
Exactly.
Funny. He might be joking too.
Right, I don't think it actually happened, right?
Or the teenager arrested for calling the Church of Scientology a cult.
Which of course it is. It's a cult, yeah. The next one.
Or the cafe owner arrested for displaying passages from the Bible on a TV screen.
Displaying passages from... Like he got arrested for displaying...
Yeah. These are carefully chosen because they are funny.
I know.
When I heard of some of these more ludicrous offences and charges, I remembered that I had been here before in a fictional context.
Right, I don't know if everybody remembered the Not the 9 o'clock news from I think it was from the 80s, wasn't it?
I once did a show called Not the 9 o'clock News some years ago, and we did a sketch where Griff Rhys-Jones played Constable Savage.
He always comes up with some great names, of course.
A manifestly racist police officer to whom I, as his station commander, is giving a dressing down for arresting a black man on a whole string of ridiculous, trumped up and ludicrous charges.
You can just imagine how that went down because you couldn't do it in the
Right.
you couldn't do it now. Basically, they'd pull it from TV. Some of the stuff that's been pulled from TV now because of these racial overtones. Oh, just come on! The world has just got a grip. Get a
The
grip.
charges for which Constable
This is
Savage
worth playing
arrested
full,
Mr.
Warren,
Winston
that's
Kadogo of 55 Mercer Road were these: walking on the cracks in the pavement, walking in a loud shirt in a built-up area during the hours of darkness. And one of my favourites, walking around all over the place.
just walking around all over the place. It's almost like Monty Python, you know.
I got pulled up for that.
Did you?
But I was pissed though.
He was also arrested for urinating in a public convenience.
Isn't that what they're for? Or maybe
done that. I've
that
done that.
might have been a telephone booth, but yeah.
That was
looking
you,
at
sick
me in a funny way. Who would have thought
Funny way, yeah.
that we would end up with a law that would allow life to imitate art so exactly?
And this is the thing, it's the crazy laws that are being passed. Yeah, I know, Dad, it is. It's sounding like Melbourne right now, isn't it? Like, and this is satire from
Melbourne.
30 years ago.
I read somewhere a defender of the status quo claiming that the fact that the gay horse case was dropped after the arrested man refused to pay the fine, and that the Scientology case was also dropped at some point during the court process, was proof that the law was working well.
The law was working well, yes, probably, yeah.
Ignoring the fact that the only reason these cases were dropped was because of the publicity that they had attracted.
It had detracted.
The police sensed that ridicule was just around the corner and withdrew their actions.
Oh,
And
by
that-
media.
It is, it's a trial by media. The world has just gone crazy.
But what about the thousands of other cases that did not enjoy the oxygen of publicity, that weren't quite ludicrous enough
To attract the media
attention?
attention. Even
for
those.
those actions that were withdrawn, people were arrested, questioned, taken to court, and then released. You know, that isn't a law
Not
working
wearing a mask,
properly.
probably.
That is censoriousness of the most intimidating kind.
And I was going to ask you, Stephen, because you're the English professor, is censoriousness a real word?
I've never heard of it. But sensationalism.
Well, it's
Sensationalist.
I know. I think he's made up a word here.
It might have been a play on words, but it may be a word. But I can think of sensationalist or, sensationalism, where you exaggerate everything. So
It's
that's what it means.
Johnny Siam. What, the gay horse withdrew his actions? Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Guaranteed to have, as Lord Deer says, the chilling effect on free expression and free protest. Parliament's Joint Committee on Human Rights summarised, as you may know, this whole issue very well.
Censoriness, so you can't say things, sorry. Yeah, you can't, they censor you for everything. So you
That's right.
can't say this, you can't say that. Sorry, I thought I was looking half asleep.
Censorious.
While arresting a protester for using threatening or abusive speech may, depending on the
That is the word.
circumstances, be a proportionate response, we do not think that language or behaviour that is merely insulting should ever be criminalised in this way.
Which is right. I think there is lines you've got to draw, but thing is like it.
Well, it's too hard to enforce, so they just make one
That's it.
generalisation
The
for everybody,
generalised.
you know.
Yeah. Paul in Sydney. G'day. How you doing, buddy?
Like a tucks-in special, you know, you have a drug problem, so you just shoot everybody until you find the ones who've got the drugs.
Yeah. California actually states they will cut power and water to households having that many people. Okay, that's more about the curfews that they're doing. All right, okay, fair enough. It's crazy, isn't it?
The clear problem with the outlawing of insult is that too many things can be interpreted as such.
Yes, the interpretation of these laws, I think, is where we're going wrong. People have just got no freaking sense of perspective.
Well, the thing is, you've got the most
There you go.
wealthy and powerful people who are in power, so of course there's no perspective. They're completely out of touch.
They are.
Is insult by
I mean, how could Trump or
ridicule easily construed as insult?
the guy
Sarcasm,
running
unfavourable
Britain and
comparison,
even our
merely
own Prime Minister, I
stating
mean, they're all
an
so wealthy.
alternative point
you
of
know.
view to the orthodoxy can be
Can be interpreted.
Somebody said the other day they've got no skin in the game, you know.
Yeah, that's it. Well, that's part of it, isn't it?
insult. And because so many things can be interpreted as insult, it is hardly surprising that so many things have been, as the examples I talked about earlier show.
It is. It's the whole thing has just gone crazy. Anyway, if you ever get a chance to go through this whole speech, I'm not going to do
But
the whole
it's true
thing.
though. It's almost like, you know, they go the Black Lives Matter, and then there's the women are being prejudiced against, and then you end up with all this positive discrimination. So the very people you're trying to protect become the very thing that you don't like, and the people you say are discriminating against them. You know, they become them. Then I mean, if you're a middle-aged white guy in Australia now, it's the worst thing you can be. What did Archie say? You're better off being a black lesbian.
But the point is, like, did any one person have a choice in the colour of their skin? You know, but it's basically got to the fact that you're born any colour whatsoever, and suddenly that's it. You're demonised for one group or another, right? The whole problem is the fact that people don't realise that this is all being sort of constructed to have everybody fighting against everybody else.
Yeah, it is.
Rather
It is,
than
yeah.
rather than that particular, like that's an example of one problem, the censoriousness of life itself, right? The
See,
way.
one rogue policeman, I mean, it happens in China too, puts his knee on some guy's neck. Now suddenly we're all apparently putting our knees on black people's necks.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly admonish that particular rogue cop, but don't generalise to the rest of us. We're not all out there fighting black people, putting our knees on their neck.
What's the meme that's going around? Sort of Lincoln, right? He was the guy who freed the slaves in America. He's known to have freed the slaves in America. Yet now, Black Lives Matter are calling him a racist because he's white.
Yeah, it goes too far.
Right? And what the hell is that all about? Really? That is just like people have just lost the plot. Right, and why should anybody born now be paying for the mistakes of somebody from 10 generations ago? It happened then, right? There's no payback.
I said, what about the poor redheads?
Oh yeah, well maybe the redheads should be shot at birth.
Yeah.
But,
He's got red hair. Yeah, the redheads have got to leave the island straight away.
that's it. Yeah, they find in the beginning.
Ever get in the
They are
pub
fine
with
in the
redheads,
beginning.
you always lose. I don't know what it is about them. You can't put them down.
He was already saying couldn't breathe and was drugged
How
out.
about Eddie Ermine? Was that an Aboriginal Johnny saying? I can't remember. Gingers don't count, Mr. Mitch. What about albino people?
Yeah, exactly, Bo. So, don't you need to have a victim for it to be a crime? How can you be a victim of insult? Yeah, 30 years ago, there was no such thing as these bloody... I'm pretty sure the politicians of the day are just failed something in their earlier life. They probably got picked on at school. Yeah.
Mr. Bean said they're just the media running everything.
Oh, yeah.
So, the crime really doesn't matter. It's just whether it sells newspapers and makes headlines and sensationalism. And, as I said, one person abuses their freedom and then all of a sudden they generalise the punishment to all the rest of us because it's popular. It might give them well, look at that guy. Gee, he's an upstanding guy, because he just wants to get back into power. It's absolute frog shit.
There was an Australian band used to play when I was growing up called 1927. They actually had one song. Now I won't play it because of it's Apple Music and everything else. But here's the lyrics. Let me just get out of the screen here again, right, and then just zoom in on this.
Firing people at work now. If anyone goes to HR being offended by someone, only saying if all victims is the crime, where is the crime? Maybe I've not watched the news for weeks. Andy Stubbs. Yeah, I don't watch it. It's crap.
Look, I'll play little 10-second pieces that shouldn't strike. But anyway, here we go. Don't know if you actually know. Oh, really? I didn't want to go there.
Can we sing along with it?
Sorry, it's going to play it on Apple Music, so I won't bother. So the lyrics go: radio, TV, and magazines telling you how to be to make the scene. It's all black and white, no grey matter in between. The megalithic media with feet of clay stuck to the people, so the ratings suck to the people, so ratings pay. Never give a care who's caught in the ricochet. Every picture paints 1,000 lies, and the airways amplify. The propaganda machine with its slanderous schemes, the propaganda machine with the lies between the lines. Smooth guy standing at the pickup bar, because I can't sing, so I'm not going to try to sing it, flashing cash like a movie star, telling everyone he's got a brand new car. It's a Porsche, of course, but we'd never admit he's got a hell of a life, working hard, paying off for a third ex-wife. Never the time to enjoy to things he'd like to do. Money can't buy you. Money can't but a long-term smile. Money can't buy a long-term smile.
Money can't but a long-term.
No, I think it's supposed to be buy.
A lie propagated by. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think there's just a spelling mistake there. Tell you what to think and what to say, and everything is all okay. But we're all victims of the machine. Tell you what to do, what point of view to take. You mass produce one more prisoner of the machine. Right, petty politicians, schoolboy games, the fallacy of weapons talk and taken a deadly aim, huffing and puffing. Now it's all the name of what's best, they guess. So they wave us goodbye, and they wish us good luck, which is just like saying you can't get lost. Yeah, that's right. having the cost of a machine.
My line's better.
Yeah, having the cost of a machine keeps making bucks, and the big boys just jump at every chance to do another dance for the propaganda machine. Yeah, it's
Why
just.
Can't you play the music? Because it's on Apple, is it? Or
Well, it's not so much that.
Copyright?
Well, it's a breach of copyright. So again, I probably did push the line with where we were creatively looking at that piece from Rowan Atkinson, which I'm pretty sure is public domain, right? Or at least Creative Commons. Whereas this is obviously owned by Apple Music. So.
Dalo wants to know: can you catch gingivitis from redheads?
Come on. We're being genus now, not so much Rainus, we're being genus for redheads. That could be black or white, couldn't it? Just the genes.
Angel song. Ever going to see your? Am I ever
going to see your face again? Yeah.
Oh my God, Della, you're on a roll tonight. I thought at first it said roadhead. Lol, roadhead.
Yeah, but again, it's coming down to this whole thing. We have just seemed to the world has seemed to have lost perspective on everything. I think we were talking about we actually went off on a side tangent ranting about we got the CV now, but nobody looked right now where it's the wet season here in Thailand, and as Stephen sort of pointed out, was it dengue fever?
I can never say it's a dengue or dengue. I don't know.
Dengue. For this,
what'd you say?
Dengue fever. It's killed more people in Thailand than the CV has. But it's not even in the news. Why is it not in the news?
Few stats was there was 106 deaths in 2019 from dengue fever, and there've already been 11 this year. So I don't know, how many deaths have there been from coronavirus in Thailand? 39 or something?
59 or something like that.
This is more deaths than coronavirus, but barely got a mention of,
No, so it wasn't so much the deaths. It's more to do with the how many people have fallen ill to get dengue fever.
There's about 15,000. There's a lot of cases, but worldwide I think there was over 500,000. But 21 out of every 100 people in Thailand were getting dengue fever in places like Rayong as well, and Isan and all that. And so, of course, face masks will not be answered. What they want them to do is get rid of all the breeding grounds for larvae, because that's all the waterlogged areas after the rains. That's what's causing the dengue fever. So, but people are not doing anything. The people are not being as diligent as they are with the coronavirus, wearing masks, social distancing. They're not even doing these things, cleaning up these breeding grounds for the larvae. You think after all these decades of it, they would.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. This is where, again, the perspective of the thing. It's not news, right? That's the problem. It's not news, right? It doesn't get ratings. It doesn't get ratings, so it doesn't get advertised. People have got to wake up to this whole point, the fact that it's only the advertisers, right, and the Google AdSense and the other, clickbaity things that these websites put on them that make it anything, right? They said they have to pay wages, Of course, the whole, you come from the paper paper, journalism era, Stephen. So, you know what it's like. In those days, you used to pay for the paper.
Oh yeah, they used
Yeah.
to write a story on a plane crash, and underneath it they had an advertisement for cheap flights.
That's absolutely
You know,
crazy.
I mean, or they'd have some guy had just murdered his whole family, and underneath you'd see an ad for a butcher. They're selling meat, good cuts.
Yeah.
Any opportunity.
Yeah, in the Discordian vernacular, which is the sort of thing that's my religious pursuit, you might sort of say. We have a word called, it's a made-up word, of course. It's called fenord.
All right, guys, I'll stop him if he goes too far.
Right, it's called fenord, right? The word is fenord, right? And what it basically means, it's being able to sort of read an article and read between the bullshit to actually find out what the real story is. It's a real art these days, and nobody's been taught the art of reading and finding the real story, right? Because we are just so indoctrinated. We've had it shoved down our face for the last 50 years, right? And it's driving the world to a completely unpalatable, unlivable sort of situation. We are facing the brink of global civilization extinction, not from a virus, but from mass hysteria caused by these tabloids who want to pay their staff, so they got to make up any story that'll get a click these days.
I mean, one thing Donald Trump's done well is put out that meme of fake news, because love him or hate him, it's woken up people to the bull. It's the most brilliant meme that's ever been made. It's so simple, fake news.
But it's like, Windows 95 when it
everybody
came out.
used it,
Nobody was, Windows 95, that'll never take on. Now it's Windows 10 and it's ubiquitous across the world, It takes 10 years for these things to catch on. He's only had nearly 4 years, talking about fake news. He's got another 6 years before the whole world as a whole, right, becomes really aware of it. And we've got another 6 years of this bullshit before we finally wake up to the bullshit. Oh.
Hello says my mate's name was Butcher. He was always flogging his meat. Andy Stubbs, you can't even mow your lawn in Melbourne.
You can't?
No, but you can smoke marijuana.
Oh, is that right? Luke M. Windows 95 has an upgrade? He's wondering. Don't worry, you go into some places, some Thai establishments here, you go into some place and they're still running Windows XP, which is almost as bad as Windows 95.
Here's the other thing too I was going to make, one I made it to you last night, is that, we talk about the CV, we won't mention the name.
We've mentioned it half a dozen times already, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the dengue fever and the malaria are far more sinister. If you get it again, the chances are it's going to be a more severe virile strain.
Yeah.
And it doesn't happen with the CV. And apparently, you've also got, they think it's partial immunity with the CV, whereas the other ones you don't have that. You get it again and again and again. The school's not out yet whether you totally, whether you've got an immunity passport yet. But I mean, it's and as you say, the perspective. Where's the perspective? Why aren't we talking about dengue fever and malaria? Why is all the focus on here? Because the fervour that's been whipped up around the world.
Because it's a pandemic, right? There is an ulterior motive going on. There's no doubt in my mind that this is being leveraged. Now, I think if we talked about it privately, there's two angles. Either it's ushering in something that they tried to do 20 years ago, which was the WTO, which was the one world order, sort of mandates. We have to admit at sort of some point the fact that every country needs to work together, right? Maybe it's going to require an alien invasion before the whole world will wake up and realise we're a human species against an alien species and we need to pull our own weight. But right now it's one world government against another world government, and Trump has just emphasised that with his war against China. There was this move to the WTO 15 years ago. And I was very active in the political arena, back then with the anti-WTO sort of movement. not that I can tell you much about it now. I just seem to have been a flash in the pan sort of thing. But they've still been trying to bring in the WTO, right? This pandemic is one methodology in my mind that can sort of create the uniformity to bring in this overruling oligarchy of one world government, right? Or secondly, the other wake-up call is the fact that it showed the complete unpreparedness. Is that a word? Unpreparedness?
Yep.
Right, the unpreparedness of every country if we had a real pandemic on our doorstep, like Ebola, right, getting in the wild, or what was it, the numbers that they said, we didn't shut the world down for H1N1 or what was the other ones? I don't know what was all these recent SARS. We didn't shut the world down for SARS or the bird flu or swine flu. I believe there's another one there's another outbreak that's come out. They've discovered in China now, 57 dead from. Oh God, I don't know. And I believe they're killing chickens in Melbourne for avian flu. Right, that's the latest news.
The Chinese,
no.
Right,
right. So Melbourne's just lost 25% of their workforce. They've just shut down Melbourne, and now they're going to kill the food to feed people, right? Because of an avian flu, right?
So much for solidarity. The rest of us are saying we don't want you here. We're closing our borders down so that our own can't come in now.
Yeah.
They're talking about the football team coming over from Melbourne to play the football match in WA because they're going to lose too much money by playing it in Melbourne. Yeah. So they want to play the football match in the final or something here in WA, and all the people are going up in arms and say, "Piss off! We don't want the coronavirus."
I just noticed Oggy just turned show. How long have you been sitting there? I haven't been watching that screen.
Oggy's there. Yeah, he popped in just to say hello. I said hello back. He is. He's probably still a bit crook, I'd say.
How you feeling today?
I don't think we're not prepared for a pandemic on the planet. I think we're just not evolved enough to act as a species and take care of each other, because it's all been about politics. It's about different countries. It's about borders.
Yeah,
it's the vibe. It's the vibe.
It shouldn't be. Yeah, it shouldn't be that way.
It's us against them. Yeah, this whole us against them. Our way is better. No, seriously.
Right.
Ultimately, it's going to come from a pushback from the people. Whether you're whatever side of politics, it's going to have to be direct democracy. People are going to have to show solidarity with each other, and all the politicians are trying to do is keep them divided so they can't do that, and come together en masse and say, listen, enough is enough. Because that's ultimately the only way that governments change. If you do nothing, they'll continue to do what they've always done, and you'll get what you've always gotten. To quote a Robinson line.
I think I've got a meme coming out on my Callisti TV in a few days' time. I've already got it ready, captured, and it sort of says left wing, right wing. So it's a picture of an Indian, an Indian leader. No, I don't know who it is, but if you're Americans will probably recognise the picture. But it just says left wing and right wing. People don't understand. They belong to the same bird.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you look at the US, not that I know much about that, but you've got a country divided. How can we expect them to come together to show solidarity on such a serious issue as this? Politics, unfortunately, and greed, rather than selflessness, has just meant that nobody can come together to do what we need to do, that we know we ought to do.
Yeah, Mr. Miss there. A diagnosis of COVID nets 13,900 in US, and death by COVID as an institution gets 39,000, and those are the numbers you have to take. But yeah, where are those numbers coming from? If you did manage to get a pass to come into Thailand right now, you'll be tested at the airport. That test is free, and it takes 90 minutes. Right, then you go into quarantine.
They still have bubonic plague in some parts of the US.
There you go, Augie. You worked it out.
Mate?
Say what?
You're feeling better.
Are you? You looked like on death's corner the other day, or whatever you call it, death's door.
Yeah, I was poisoning myself.
Oh, that's good.
What poisoning you? Well, how was that happening? The ventilator was broken.
The cats had turned on my gas stove, and because of my allergies, I couldn't smell the marker odor.
Oh, they'll run that by me again.
You're lucky they don't smoke, aren't you? God, you could have blown the whole place up.
You killed the cats or what?
No, they apparently.
Devil spawn. Devil spawn. Devil spawn.
Jumped up on the stove and turned on, just barely, one of the burners, and because it didn't go over to the light position, it was just sitting there leaking continuously, very, very low. And I was working in the kitchen. I'm like, I thought I was smelling cat litter, so I dumped all the cat litters, and then I went back over to this kitchen sink, and I'm like, I'm still smelling grease.
Right.
And then I looked over and I saw it's this marker odor is supposed to smell like rotten eggs.
Right.
It doesn't here. It smells like hot engine grease.
Does it? Okay.
Yes.
And you were sitting there breathing.
Well, to me at least.
You didn't know.
Since last Thursday.
Oh my God.
For days on end. I took Monday and Tuesday off because I was so sick. I forced myself to go to work Wednesday.
Lucky you don't smoke.
Well, yeah, basically, but it's like, fuck. I've got so many fans and everything running, and the house is so leaky, it never reached completely toxic levels, but...
Yeah, I left the gas stove on myself here, and I woke up next morning, couldn't breathe, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, it can happen, man. You've got to make sure that thing... Cats, what a little pair of pricks they are.
Yeah, they are,
and
exactly.
What's funny is you have to push the button in to turn it. So
Fair
they must
enough.
have hit it just right to do it, and it's like, fuck. They did it to me again today.
Cats did it again.
Yes. Yeah.
Damn,
I
devil
fixed it
spawn.
yesterday. I was sitting there working, and all of a sudden I was having issues breathing, and I look over, and there's the damn stove on again.
I was going to say, no good putting it up higher. No good putting it up higher.
Feline terrorists.
You need to buy some cat treats, man, because you pissed somebody off.
I guess.
Yeah, you put it up higher, the cat will just jump
I think
up.
they were trying to warn me because they kept coming over and meowing at me. It's like I go, what do you want? And they would sit there and they'd take me to the kitchen. I'm like, I have no idea what you want. There's your food. There's your treats. There's your water.
They can smell it probably. Yeah. They
Have you been tested for COVID-19? Because maybe they're trying to take you out.
Oh.
They're pretty smart.
Oh, in fact, the cats are not villains; they're heroes.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's kind of like Shazam, where he hits the bus with a lightning bolt, which causes it to crash, and then he goes and saves it. The cats started the problem, and they were trying to fix it. So.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, but again, it's just whatever.
Sorry, got you off your topic.
No, that's all right. That's all
I
right.
had two cats. One was named Terry, and the other one was called Yaki.
Teriyaki? Yes. I named one Kong and the other Pao.
Paul in Sydney wants to know what caused the Beirut explosion. She's beyond my remit. I don't know. Besides the chemicals accident, well, I think it was the cats, Paul.
It's probably the cats.
Yeah.
The cats.
Well, it wasn't my cat. I think somebody's training these cats to be feline terrorists, and
But
they
yeah,
just
like-
go around setting off explosions. See, that was supposed to be my place, but it ended up being Beirut instead.
The other answer is, Paul, who cares? It's Beirut.
Because it's more than likely something's totally benign. We'll never find out because the person who probably,
Well, the stuff's been stored there for years.
a lit cigarette,
They knew they shouldn't be storing it.
a lit cigarette in a fireworks container, sort of sets up a chain reaction.
Or somebody decided to weld something.
Could have been anything.
Johnny Tayam said it was a midweek team building barbecue.
But of course, there was also the thing that came out on Australian news yesterday: the fact that there's so many thousand kilograms of the chemical. What is it?
Ammonium nitrate.
Ammonium nitrate stored in the docks in Newcastle, right? And everybody's in a panic about that. No,
Well, it depends on how it's stored.
it depends on how it's stored, right? At least that ammonium nitrate is cycled through all the time. It goes through strict quarantining and strict housing. It is only a sort of stopgap. It comes and goes, right? Because it's a farming fertilizer, right? And there's nothing to be worried. Well, there's always something to be worried about. Whether some idiot wants to actually do some damage.
Beirut wasn't farming grade; it was industrial grade.
Yeah.
And plus, they were saying that from the colors of the flames, there was also missile fuel involved in there somewhere.
Yeah, that's a lot of bullshit, right? Somebody's
already. Who knows what they had stored in those warehouses?
Well, I said somebody's already doctored one of the videos that came out on Tuesday, right, and actually overlaid a video sequence with a missile flying in. So there's the evidence.
No, this isn't saying that there was a missile involved. It's just saying that there was. They said the smoke signature was the same as the rocket fuel used in. Oh, was it a SpaceX launch or something that it generates the same color of smoke during the burning? But
that's also the same similar colours that come out from fireworks as well. Don't forget, fireworks has an array of colours of like chemicals that produce all the pretty colours.
I think it's safe to say though the Chinese caused it.
Well,
well, no, it's
government
Trump
against
trying to set the Chinese up.
Government against government, because the world has just completely lost the plot. That's all I can say.
Trump sent in SEAL Team 6 to have them blow up Beirut just so they can blame it on the Chinese.
Yeah,
but it is. It's just that the world has just completely lost the plot.
We've got to get some reasons to invade them. So.
I would like to see the media's covering the humanitarian aspect of that right now, but I'm not seeing anything on it.
You don't see that. Good news doesn't sell, man.
Well, they were, at least here in the U.S., they were showing people that were not involved with any humanitarian effort or anything. It was just the citizens going out and helping their friends clean up. And it was like good for them. They were actually out there. They weren't part of the, the Red Cross or UNICEF or whatever the hell groups would go out and help. They were just the local citizenry out there helping their neighbors get things cleaned up.
I'd rather put front page news of bloke fucking a cow in Thailand than to cover the real issues,
Well, that's it,
Thailand cows are too scrawny.
But there's issues all around the world, that's the thing. I think hopefully this Beirut thing will just wake people up out of their stupor of,
As a citizen of the United States, I would like to see our hospital ship sitting in that port.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
It'd take them a while to get over there.
It's Beirut. Come on,
And they have to say, yes, bring it in.
Yeah.
I think that would be
more than likely, maybe not the hospital ship. There's probably
Dallo.
One of the fleets are probably over there.
Dallo, this might be drawing a longbow, but didn't the Chinese invent gunpowder?
Yes, it was.
That's Chinese fault again. There we go.
It's been a long time coming, but they finally got him.
Leave it up, Dallo. You're right.
You could have left that one there. It's all right. Exactly. But
true.
Luckily, I got to read it.
Only,
I got to say it. He got to withdraw it. It's okay. I got to say it. He got to withdraw it.
Well, it's still up on your screen because it doesn't retract.
That's it. It's on the live chat. Yeah.
Got this. I mean, but all these governments are in it for themselves. Like Neil says, he says Australia gives $2 million in aid, just to make themselves look good. But they can't. They're crying that they can't afford to pay out for the coronavirus victims. Let's put $2 million over here. They're just reckless with money. I mean,
but it's not their money. You see, the politicians of today in Australia,
expat money, yeah.
Right? They grew up in a world of credit. Right, it's just easy credit. Right, the politicians, 20 years ago.
Charity begins at home, as far as I'm concerned. Charity begins at home.
Yeah, the next generation will pay for it.
Most of them don't appreciate it anyway.
Yeah, my next generation after me's not paying for it. They don't want to work.
Like I said, the guys going to Thailand, Captain Saverhall. I mean. They were fine before you got there. They were eating well, living well before you got there. You're not You're not saving anything, you know. Well, it's a bit like what these governments are doing. Pouring money, it's like throwing money into a bucket with a hole in it. It doesn't go to the people. It just goes to the regimes running it.
I think I've got to do a video on that one, Captain Saberhaw. It's a great title for a video.
All of a, they haven't needed a house for friggin' 40 years, and all of a sudden you get over there and they need a house. You know? What's wrong with the shithole you've got? You know. You know, all of a sudden, you know, no food, no money. I mean, it's all bullshit.
No. In Australia, like we gave aid to Indonesia, and they went out and bought fucking half a dozen fucking fighter jets or something.
Exactly, it doesn't go to the people. It doesn't.
Well, why did we give them the money to start with if they can afford fighter jets?
We promote ourselves as look at what good guys we are. Look how lovely we are. You know,
but just look after your own citizens.
And all these, you know, what has it got? Red Cross, UNICEF, all the money. Apparently, the people that work for them are driving around in 4-wheel drives and bloody Range Rovers and God knows what. You know, social workers lost in the jungle, acting like hippies.
Yeah, we had those funds, the fundraising for the January fires. And from what I understand, the numbers now are sort of saying only 10% of that raised money has actually gone to people in need.
Exactly.
Well, where's the other 90%?
Well,
right?
it was just not given at all. The governments can see now. You know, they give money to the people, but look at the fine print. It's always over 5 years, over 10 years, and then it's always on the never, never. You know, you can promise anything, but it doesn't mean you have to pay it out. People forget. They don't hold them to account. They say, well, hold on, you said you're going to give 50 million. Where is it? Well, you know, things seem to have improved now. So, you know, can you get by with the one we gave you?
Yeah. I know, it's just the way it's gone. The world has just completely lost the plot. We just need to, as a human species, we need to start thinking about who your mates are, right? And, you know, level-headed decision-making process, leverage some perspective on life.
And all the madness, I think he's raised a lot of valid points. You know, fake news. He's raised I mean, he was guilty of a lot of these things himself. You know, making things at home, creating jobs in your own country. You can't be strong and help others if you're not strong yourself. You know? People think everybody in Australia and America is living, you know, high on the hog. They're not.
Trump's fake news, though, is anything that disagrees with his outlook.
And Paul in Sydney wants to know.
But out of all that, I think something good's come out of it, because even though people don't believe Trump, but it's made it, like, if you look at what the Clintons did, I mean, it's woken people up to the establishment. It should not just be business as usual. You know, that's what I think. If you find anything good that's come out of the Trump era, it's that people are now thinking in a different way now. He's shaken the establishment, you know, and it really did need a shake-up. I'm not saying Trump's right on anything at all, but I'm just saying some good has come out of this.
But all the nuts are falling out of the tree because of it, that's all. Yeah, Paul in Sydney, can we come and live in your house, Warren? Come in the new house. Well, I said, you have to fight Stephen over fight Stephen over the room under the stairs, of course, because, you know, first in, first serve, and Stephen has the choice first, you know, whether he wants to actually stay in the spare room or stay under the stairs. If he chooses under the stairs, then you can stay in the spare room. Right, if not,
right. I can always go and stay at Mayor Grove's house.
Oh, can you? Right, yeah, go to the mansion. Hotel Groves.
Got a swimming pool there.
Did you see the one where Chuck and Paige went to visit the people, and it's like 7 bedrooms, 5 baths, pool being put in outside?
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit.
But it's always bigger is better.
So you don't have to clean them. That's all. If you don't clean it, doesn't matter. Just use another one.
Exactly. Why would you ever clean the bathroom? You know, they're self-cleaning. Exactly. When you flush, they clean themselves.
Paul, the Grey Stallion, Stephen Monash, and myself are already booked in. Yeah, there you go. Everybody's booking in. We've got to get the bank loan first. Come on.
I want World 3.
Well, what you do is everybody that shows up, you charge them $100.
I haven't even had a super chat today in this stream. It's been a good stream so far. Haven't even had a super chat or a PayPal donation. God, you know, and you want me to put you up in the house? Jesus Christ! Bloody freeloaders! You have to mow the lawn. You get there, you have to mow the lawn.
Let's go back to war.
I thought you just had to show up with the case of Leo and condoms.
Well, maybe you do, yeah. But
I guess that would just be for private use.
that's what they say, private use only, yeah.
You got to put a condom over
couple liters of gasoline for the motorcycle to borrow it.
You got to put a condom over your beard. Now,
there you go. He's still dying.
I got some beer condoms floating around here somewhere. Still dying.
Have those cats turned the gas on again, have they? Go and check the gas. Anytime you cross, we're going to say, go and check the gas, Huggy, go and check the gas.
I can see it from where I'm at. I'll have to just look to the right. I'm actually, everything is set up in my kitchen living area right now because I'm renovating my bedroom.
Dallo's come through.
There you go. Dallo's done his usual. He also gets a mention at the end of the videos now as well. So like all the other people who have done donations. There you go. Ding ding. Super chat. There. Good on you, Dallo. Yeah. So I get $2.10 or something like that, and the rest of it goes to YouTube.
He could give it to Warren. He doesn't give it to the people anyway. I mean, what the fuck?
What do you mean? We'll take it to the restaurant we went to. Right, that's a good restaurant.
Keep it to yourself and throw down another Leo.
When you come out here, we'll take it. Then was it PopeKael? Thomas Ogden. Wait, the PopeKael Terrace. With PopeKael Terrace. That's it.
Yeah, you have enough for a burger.
That's it. That's
Oggy $5 there, Warren.
You can buy sometime with that. There you go. Ding 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 ding. There we go.
Look at that. Look at that. It's just cash rolling in.
Andy Stubbs says he'll pitch a tent in the backyard. Unfortunately, the backyard's fairly small, and to pitch a tent out there, you have to be pitching it on the clong. But in the front yard, we've got room in the front yard. And then Luke.
Can I bring an inflatable over and just toss it out in the clong?
That's right.
Luke.
Thanks, Luke. There we go.
A bit for my spare room.
Bids for the spare.
Oh God, it's all gone crazy.
Don't forget the light, guys.
Keep it going.
Mr. Mitch is just trying to give you enough money so we don't all show up at his place.
Johnny Siam's in now. Johnny Siam's
God, there we go. The hooker phone.
Look, it's all gone mad.
It's gone mad. Yeah, thanks, guys.
When
Look,
the hookers show up, I'll be there.
I think
the tighter Stephen Monash, is he going to put anything in?
No, he's not going to put anything in. No. Get all the dings now. They're all the dings are following in. But yeah, look, thanks, guys. It always brings a smile to my face when that stuff happens. There you go, Mr. That's Luke Am. So there's that one. They're all being sort of ding, 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 ding. I don't know. Should I turn the actual volume turn the jingles off?
Hey, Mayor Groves came off the right side.
The jingles are interesting. Now, if it started going off like a slot machine, you started spitting out thousands of dollars. We might have to have a discussion.
So, so before you run, because I got to get going at 11:30. But there you go, Stephen. So, Mr. Groves, Mayor Groves, is the pool full yet? We need to know, is the pool full? I'm actually looking at his Facebook page to see if...
Yeah, it's a good video. It's a giant pool. Just missed the roof of the house too.
Let's go to my Facebook page again.
Did he have the same issue as when what's his name was putting his pool in? They almost took out the roof of the bungalows.
Oh yeah. Oh, another one. Gosh. Oh, sorry, this is me. Oh.
That's you. There you go. Rob Horhin. Let's see. Latest videos from Rob. Oh yes. Here we go. Do you mind me? Can I put it up on screen there for you, Rob? Do you mind if I show you the latest video? Give me permission.
Mayor Groves, if you don't mind.
Mayor Groves, can I put up your video on the screen for you?
Yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, go ahead. He said.
Yes, Warren. Well,
just waiting
was
for
that in answer to that question or an earlier one?
Yeah, yes, go for it. He says, go for it. He says, go for it. There we go.
I'm a quasi-resident of the place, so yes, you can do it.
Right. Okay. See, he's It has got it listed as public, so we're all good. But I like to get him to OK it first. So let me get out of the screen and let's have a look at the pool.
There goes.
Hello guys, welcome back.
Hi guys, welcome back.
I'm actually upstairs at the moment. So you can see there's a chandelier, the curtains, which go all the way down.
Wow.
And everybody's welcome. And everybody's welcome.
Is this the
Coming
house that Chuck
into
and
the
Pete
master
visited?
bedroom.
This is the mansion.
We have a bed we purchased the other day.
Stand there.
Bedsides,
Head on the light.
He's got the mirrored walls. There you
And
go for the
various
porn movies.
Oh,
cabinets
look at
around the
this.
place.
Yeah, that was
Still
a grand
got
entry, wasn't it?
a lot to unpack. I
Mirrors.
don't know if I showed you this
Look at
last time, the walk-in robe.
Walk-in wardrobe. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
so you've got
Oh, look at this.
floor-to-ceiling mirrors.
The hotel in every room. Which is my room.
Looks pretty good, Rob.
Plenty of cupboard space.
Maregrove, sorry,
yeah.
Storage
Maregrove.
space up on top. I think we just have too many clothes, I would imagine.
Well, this is the video I watched from Chuck and Page. Well, I watched a video from Chuck and Page, and this was nowhere near this far along.
Look,
Just
even
walking
the
out
case,
here.
even the bookshelf's made out of marble. Look at
You
it.
have the
Computer
office
room.
nearly complete. Printer, desk.
Well, only one
computer,
screen. No, you need four
room
screens,
for the
Rob.
beer fridge in the corner. That's where that goes.
The
We'll get
elephants
that this
died to
week.
make this house.
4 screens, 2 computers.
That's it.
Whiteboard.
It goes up on the wall. Mr. Brown, you'll enjoy that one. And what you've probably been looking
All the
forward to
trophies. What are the
seeing,
trophies for?
There,
What are
we
the
want
trophies?
to see the pool. We want to see the pool. There it
you
is.
see something different.
Yeah, all those
Mate,
trophies.
what's
What were those trophies for?
it's Olympic size. Look at it.
It's a 3-day event.
Entertainment
Awesome.
hut.
Awesome.
And,
Oh,
and
this
the
is where you
pool.
come out in the morning and
The
make
pool
your
is
speeches.
in.
Yep, good.
They're just running the filter now to clean the water. And also, we're
Wow,
doing
it's
the
enormous.
pool surround, which is,
Putting down the
as you can
Rio.
see, the tiled area is
Oh, look at the
45
pool.
centimetres from the edge of the pool to the edge of the tiles. And we're concreting and then tiling the other metre. Metre at the front, metre at the back, in between the pool and the entertainment hut. And then a metre this side. And here we'll have grass with stepping stone pavers from the pool
lovely.
area to the house
Put a
And
bar
from the
under that
house
little building next
to
to
the
it.
entertainment hut.
Well, that's
So
I
the
think
concrete
he has
goes
what,
in
a
today,
six- a
and
six-burner
it'll be tiled
barbecue under there.
next week.
Yeah, get rid of the cats
So
though.
it's looking good. And the pool, for those of you who don't know, is 12 metres by 5 metres and 1.45 metres deep.
That's right. You won't drown. Stephen,
Quite good.
it'll
Actually
just-
makes
it'll-
the yard look a wee bit
He
smaller.
just has to remember to stand up and quit flailing.
So we'll be
That's it.
swimming in that tomorrow. Concrete gets poured today. They'll be set by the
Up to
morning.
Robert Mac's knees.
Pool will be crystal clear, and we'll be up and swimming tomorrow. You can
So
see
when's the pool party, Rob?
you have
When's the
3
pool
star
party?
jets,
Oh
and
man, look at the size of this
2
place.
jets for the pool itself. You've got 2 returns. You've got a couple of
Like a
lights in
football up and
there.
down that green bit.
So
play
it's all
golf
up and
there.
running.
I'll be hitting golf balls.
So just thought I'd show you that one.
Just need a driving
Starting to
range
take
out
shape.
there, you know,
We won't have
maybe a
everything
9-hole
finished, of course,
regular
landscaping and
park.
driveway until
Yeah, whatever you want.
at least
Yeah.
another 2 or 3 more months.
This is the part
But,
I like.
starts to
I'd be
look
out
good
there
now.
every morning making speeches. Don't care. if
Okay,
anybody-
guys,
That's
on
it.
that note, I'll
Yeah, you
leave
wait
it
Don't
back
with
cry
there
that,
on
on
the
the
and,
landing, Tina.
Yeah, you wait there on the landing, then you open the curtains, you go out and make a speech. Beautiful.
That was a video
Look at
they put
that.
in the pool, dropping the pool in. But I think everybody's probably seen
You
that.
never
by now.
know. The elite there might ask to borrow the balcony there to make a public speech on
The
it.
public
Something,
speech, you never know. You never know. The Puyai might come, but I thought Rob was the Puyai.
Well, he is Mayor Groves, but I
Yeah,
mean,
that's right. Yeah, but
does
does he have to contend with it with another? Is there competition? Is there 2 Puyais in his village?
You got the Tai Pui and then you got the Farang Mayor, right?
That's a Frank Mayor, yeah. Anyway, as I said, I do have to cut it short today. I know we could probably go on for hours and chat.
well done, Rob. Amazing.
Yeah.
Looks good.
That's a nice round out for the end of the video there. Anyway, look, I've got to go. So I got to go do this checkup. Cost me 2,000
take-
baht for the checkup, but I
Warren's
think it's
taken
all
the
good.
money and running. He's running away with the money now, the loot.
He feels like a pope. Yes, I think we'll have to stop him calling him Mayor Groves. We're going to call him Pope Groves.
No,
Right.
we're not going to
Pope Groves.
Well,
No.
he's Discordian. He's an honorary pope anyway for the Discordian Church.
It's
So,
got to be Mayor Groves. Mayor Groves. You're the Pope.
yeah.
Only one Pope.
No, everybody's pope. That's in the Discordian vernacular. Everybody's a pope. I've already given everybody a pope card. Let's see.
I'm
I don't even
Pope
have a
Spastic.
title. I'm just an arsehole.
I used to be Spastic Colon, but I've now upgraded to Pope Spastic.
I
I'm just
feel
an
cheated.
arsehat. I'm just an arsehat.
Anyway, I'm going to go and find the closeout screen so I can get out of here. If I don't play it, then I won't get out of here. Anyway, thanks for joining in. A bit of fun today. Just something
good
different. Got any suggestions for the Saturday stream? Then just let us, hit us up on Discord or
Oh, we
somewhere
haven't
or
finished this
Facebook.
one yet. Get a grip.
I could leave this one going, but you can't turn it off.
Back to the doctors. Good luck, everybody. Thanks.
Yep. Oh, look, I don't see any problem. I've had no health issues. I just wanted them to do the checkup, make sure everything's okay. I can't see inside my stomach, no, in my kidneys, so I need to use the little magic tools. I can't be
Okay, cue
bothered.
the song, get off.
I think they sell those on Amazon now.
I think they do.
Just
I bought myself-
self-catheterize yourself. Run it up there and check on things.
I bought a new tool today. Yesterday, I bought this little what they call vlogging microphone to probably play with better audio. Play with better audio on my videos. Maybe sort of get
Isn't that
some
cute?
audio quality up. But anyway, I'm out of here. See you later, guys. Thanks for tuning in,
Bye-bye.
and
Have a
hit
good
that,
one. Catch
hit
you
that,
all later.
hit that like, hit the subscribe. Well, you probably always subscribe. Hit the like button. Make sure you get the bell going. All that sort of stuff. Peace out, guys.
The
We're-
light, that's the one with the thumb pointing down, right?
that's the one with the thumb that goes down like that. Anyway, I'm out of here. Play the closeout song, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Don't forget, there's the social platforms you can catch me on. I'm on all of them.
Never stop, get off.
Special thanks to all our Patreons and Super Chat supporters. There you go. They're all there. And if you want to show your support, the best way is to share these streams. Sharing is caring. And if you want to do some binge watching, there's a video that might suggest that you watch. And that's right.